It goes so well with their wrist rests too. I love that this kind of resembles a butterfly. This is the Vany Alice by whatever studio. Wuche is also going to be the one producing this, so Wuche, we've seen some of their quality of their stuff before. I personally really like it. They've done some other really cool projects. I've really liked their designs. This is a really nice looking board. It tops out at about $370 if you decide to get like the E-coated colors and if you decide to get like one of the different PVD weights. I did take a small peek beforehand just because I wanted to make sure it was in here. I've been paranoid since sometimes that happens, but I really like the design philosophy on this board. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I think this is the first time anyone's looking at the white one. So it is a tinted Alice, slightly tinted. It is so pretty. I love everything about this, and this is obviously themed after butterflies. And I gotta show you guys this too, because I thought this was really clever. So they have wrist rests for this too. And the design on this whole board is just so cohesive. It just makes me really, really happy to see this. Again, just like the Paper 80. Basically, the wrist rests will make the keyboard form into another butterfly. Look. It is a very cool concept. I don't think the price is very outrageous. It feels really good in the hand, like everything. The parts are really nice. Look at that. So the wrist rests are really cool. I think this is a really fun looking project. These got some weight to it. Big block of aluminum here. So to show you guys something too, I just like the way this looks. Again, this is tinted, so it's not gonna be like perfectly flat against my desk here, but the geometry on the back looks good. I like the fact that this is tinted, and what they've done is they've kind of made it look like, you know, someone flapping their wings or something flapping their wings. Gorgeous looking keyboard. It really is. Again, I like all the facets here on the back. I think it looks good. The E-white has a bit of sparkles to it. So it's not just like a flat E-white, which is cool. Like this was a fun keyboard to come back to after the week off, you know? Like this is cool. They do have some diffusion here for the LEDs, which is fun. The only negative I saw right off the bat from this whole entire group buy though, you have to buy Plate Choices Extra. So it's not just a quick little purchase that you can get and you know, you can't just swap it out. But it comes in a bunch of different colors with a bunch of different external weights. Low key, this is probably the most boring external weight, but there are some really fun colors that you guys can pick up as well. But it comes with plates and PCBs. Again, it doesn't give you a choice, so I'm assuming you're gonna get FR4 as a default. This is LED over here, and they also have some LEDs on the side. This is gonna be so fun building this. But they also have these inner weights over here too. So I'll take this apart and show you guys this as well. See the inside weights? I was looking at that before I opened it, or before I did this too. This does have a catchball system, which I've heard is a little tricky to get off on this one. Little note to Wuche here, I guess because they're the ones packaging this. I think I probably wouldn't pre-install the plates for people. I know it's probably to save on some packaging, but the plates are rather, you know, like they're FR4. Sure, they're bendable to a certain degree, but I probably wouldn't pre-install them, only because you probably want to position your thumb on the bottom to pull it out, and positioning your thumb on flex cut plates are a little bit, you know, weird. Here is the internals. Obviously one big old proprietary daughter board over here, which makes sense in this case, so we can't really say anything about it. But there are the weights. I don't know what kind of finish this stainless steel has. It has a bit of texture to it. I really like this. That looks really pretty. Very, very cool. And there's the catchball system there. Oh, interesting. It's like bright red. For some reason, these are giving me like more high quality vibes than the other ones Wuche has used in the past. Yeah, it's a vertical USB-C, which I think is neat, and I've never seen this before. I don't know if that'll cause any problems. There we go, that's the inside over here, and this does have a bunch of different ways that we can mount it, which I thought was really cool. We have the silicone gaskets, we have like the little bean mount, and then we also have O-rings. And then from what I understand, the little silicone bean is supposed to be like the flexiest, and then everything else is supposed to be kind of in the middle. So we'll see what we end up using. I do think I kind of want to use foam in this board. Not for nothing, I just like to keep it a buck, guys. Like Alice boards, even the nice ones that I've done, maybe this is just me. I always feel like Alice boards are a little, not my, like, you know, the sound profile wise, they're always a little bit kind of lackluster. You might have great alphas, but it's very rare that the space bars sound like, you know, like a normal, you know, space bar. So I'm thinking we put a little bit of foam in this. I love what they did here. I think the design makes a lot of sense. I love how cohesive everything is. Like I said, even the wrist rests kind of form a butterfly. They did so good with all of this, man. I love the way this looks. They knocked it out of the park visually for this. We'll see how it performs otherwise. You know, do I love the fact that they're using catchable systems? No, not really. I don't also love how it's inset into here too. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. It's kind of inset, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not the worst system in the world, but I prefer screws. So they said 1.6 wired non-flex cut. I think we got a 1.2 millimeter PCB here, which is something I believe they're offering in different regions. So I don't think this is going to be indicative of the final product, or at least for what we're being offered here. I think in Asia they're offering a 1.2 mil, but I don't think in the US they're offering a 1.6. So again, this is flex cut. We're going to put some foam in between this. Like I said anyways, I think I want to build it with foam. This is going to be non-flex cut if you order off the website, but we're getting flex cut PCB today because they only had, from what they told me, they had about 4 prototypes to give out. We luckily got one here. Okay, I think the only thing we didn't get in our prototype case was those little silicone bean gaskets, which is fine because we have the other 2 gaskets. We have O-ring. In terms of other specs, by the way, I want to mention this. The case, because it's tented, keep that in mind. It does, I think it's 30.3 millimeters or something in the middle. And then it goes down to, there's a chart here on the website. It goes down to about, 30 millimeters in the center, 16.3 on the side. So I think you probably will have to use the wrist rest, and it's a 6.5 degree typing angle. It does look like there's different layout options, but I'm assuming that's going to be with the finalized PCB and not this one. This is not the finalized PCB. It is so good. Once we assemble the keyboard, I'll show you guys more. But they did such a good job with this. We're going to start off with these gaskets, and I'll swap to the O-rings. They didn't send us over all the gaskets today. We're missing the little silicone nipples, or whatever you want to call them. But it has a triple style mounting. Really, realistically, all sort of the same, but they're supposed to provide some different feeling. But it's a really cool looking case. How do I do this ribbon cable? Does it pull out this way? I think so. All right, pretty easy to do here. I thought this would be tougher for some reason, but we're just gonna lay this in. Perfect. I do like the diffusers here, by the way, some keynotes here. In terms of like in the case, we have some, I guess, diffusion material, acrylic or polycarbonate, I'm not sure what that is over there as well, for those backlight RGBs. And then we also have the RGB that should be on the front. Excited? Do we have? Yeah, we do. We even have some silicone bumpers on the corners so nothing gets scratched, which is nice. And that just pulls. Yeah, okay. That did not close as violently as some of the other catchball systems. That vertical USB-C is interesting, right? Very interesting. It goes so well with their wrist rests too. Like I said, extremely cohesive design. I love that this kind of resembles a butterfly. All right, let's figure out some keycaps of this bad boy. Ooh, that's kind of cool. All the LEDs. All right, let's put the case back on. I think it's a really interesting decision that they made to make the vertical USB. I've never seen that done before, to get it centered. I really think that's kind of neat. Like when you really think about it, it's an interesting solution to get a centered USB-C on something like this. Whatever Studios has been designing, like I said, some really fun projects. The paper was fun. This is cool looking. Okay, I can't wait to put some keycaps on this. This looks cool. They have little diffusers that are kind of baked into the plate here. So that's how we're getting this nice diffusion. We've seen that before on the Matrix keyboard. And then we have diffusers on the side profile as well, which I think give the side quite a unique little look here too. Pretty good machining on this. The coating on this looks fantastic. We have some really nice RGB features on this too. Nice diffusion, which I think matters a lot. The design is excellent. I'm excited to see what this sounds like. The Vany or Vany Alice by whatever Studios. Let's give this a little bit of a typing test here, shall we, guys? I do want to swap out the space bars immediately, but this sounds pretty good. God, I need to get used to typing on this. Like literally, I'm trying to type "I love you" chat, and it's just not. Yeah, spacebars are normally pretty weak on all Alice boards. This is no exception. Yeah, and let's try some different spacebars as well, or some different switches here, just to give it a little test. I like this. Let's see, what if I change out some switches on the alphas and the spacebars here? Ooh, the W1 diamonds are very nice on this. Ooh. Dude, the W1 diamonds kind of hit with the spacebar here, though. That's actually pretty good with the W1 diamond as a spacebar. It still has a bit of metallic-iness to it, but I think it's tasteful. I don't think it's like, it's not the best, you know, in terms of what I like in spacebars. But that's pretty damn good. Ooh, I like that a lot. Let's try with the cherry switches now. I don't think I'm going to like the cherry switch, I'm going to be honest. Actually, this is not that bad. Maybe the Astral switch wasn't the best. A lot lighter in comparison to the rest of the switches because these are long pulls. I still like the W1 diamond a little bit more. Yeah, like that does sound pretty good. I'd be super happy with this. I'm happy to see that this board doesn't just look good. I wouldn't assume this doesn't have PE foam. Like you would think it has PE foam. Let's try putting the O-rings on because as I told you guys, there's a few different mounting options with this. And this also has the ability to be O-ring mounted. Actually, maybe the space bars do sound a little bit different on this. But not by much. Not by much at all. There is a slight bit of metallic resonance, which you may or may not like, but this is a very, very light foam, I'd say. So if you end up using this. Also, as you guys can see, one of the joys of having catchball system is very easy to swap in and out systems here. You can make a lot of adjustments to your keyboard without having to feel like you're overly committing to something. I kind of like it more with the resonance, believe it or not. But I think this is obviously a personal preference thing right now. The nice thing about foam and offering foam is you can just tune it to the way you want, but still nice. So, okay, I do not think this is supposed to be like a direct competitor of the Ergo. However, I will compare it to that because I feel like the Ergo is still available and there's not a lot of tinted Alice's right now. I think right now we're looking at two different boards. The Ergo is a extremely more affordable option. This is definitely more premium. This is going to be more premium because you're getting something that looks very cohesive. A lot of angles on this, really nice in my opinion. I think this is the better designed of the two boards when it comes to a visual representation of the keyboard. I like the theming on this a lot more. Things I wish this keyboard did differently was just really how you're purchasing this keyboard. I think this would have been an easier to digest purchase for a lot of people, how they offered more customization on their group buy, which is, by the way, not a very long group buy. It's, I think, delivery time's in June, so it's not even very long. If they give people more options, like what color butterfly you can get on the back, what plate you're getting with your kit, instead of having to do those as separate purchases, I think this could have been very, 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 very promising. And still is promising. You just kind of have to work around those things. With the FR4 plate, I still think it's fine. I think I probably would have went with a plastic plate with this, believe it or not. I do like the fact that they're switching it to a 1.6mm non-flex cut PCB. Even starting at $340, I think is a very respectable price for this. Again, I think it's a really cool product. Again, I think the visuals of this board is so much nicer than the Neo Ergo. Thanks for all the love and support. Bye everybody.